maybe next should prepare another microphone so our students can hear you. For me, I can hear you, but my student is quite far from me.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
We will fix some problem. Thank you, Alia, and
Okay.
very happy to know the Indonesian students. And I appreciate the presentation of Group 2 because they talk about the general industry or the special industry. So you need to take some notes, and this is Group 2. And let's see these parts. Let me. Okay. If you want to compare the general environment or the industry environment, you can just see the general is like a normal situation, but everything we can think about. But for special industry, for example, the food industry, nowadays in Taiwan, we again focus on the food security problem. Have you ever heard about the Su Dan Hong? What is that? Something can cause us to have a cancer or it's really harm our body. But not all food put this material, okay, to be the ingredients or just put at the hot pot. And we eat those things every day. So this is very serious. So for us, Su Dan Hong case is this one. It is about industry environment and the direct influence. Maybe the stock price can be done, reduced immediately or something, okay? And we don't go to the restaurant, we don't eat 叫做那个 paper, right? Because we think paper also has Su Dan Hong. Okay, this is the case for the food industry. But for the general environment, we think about the country situation. For example, the infrastructure or the education system, the regulations, the political issues, something like that. It is about the general situation of this country or this region or this area. So if we compare the situation in Taiwan and in Indonesia, it can be formula, something similar, but it can be something very different. Okay? Okay? The level, the same, okay? And the environmental regulation and political situation. Okay? You can find out this is much wider. But we can focus on something special. And my case to you is the industry. Because is a very hard nowadays. And also focus on the situation, just like education. Because in Taiwan, we have 150 universities, and in Indonesia, there are 4 universities. They can be very competitive with each other, okay? And also within the population. In Taiwan, we have a lot of elder people, but in Indonesia, they have a lot of young manpower. This is quite different, okay? So it is just like the general environment. Okay, we think it's widely, and we focus on specific industry. So the group met a very, and I appreciate the Taiwanese students and Indonesian students. Thank you so much. And do you have any question about this topic? Okay, think widely, think narrowly. Okay, specific industry. And my case I share with you is about the food industry. And also in Taiwan, every day we discuss semiconductor. Semiconductor, even we call Taiwan is a semiconductor island. It is specific on semiconductor. Okay? Okay. Are all of your team members are here?
Mm-hmm.
And is you have three team members.
No.
Yes. Yes. Okay. It's your turn. Group one. Yeah.
So we're group one, and my name is Benson, and this one is Brian, the one who calls A. And this one is Elba, and we're going to tell you why is it important for a firm to study and understand the external environment. So first, we need to know what is external environment. Okay. So you can see a firm's external environment include a firm's internal environment. External environment is an ever-evolving thing, so it causes great impact to a firm's internal environment. Therefore, a firm should understand to survive. And generally, the firm's environment can simply divide into three major parts. First, general environments, and second, industrial environments, and third, competitive environments, which we will tell you later. And how does it affect a firm? Typically, there are a lot of reasons and cause a manufacturer that could affect a firm, like war, climate, politics, and laws. So therefore, the diversity of one company to adapt in order. So company need to make change.
Okay, so after knowing what is the external environment and knowing how does it affect the firm, now I would like to briefly explain what is the different environment, industry environment, and competitor environment. So general environment, basically it refers to the broad external factors that affect like operations and business. They operate within a particular society or region. Within work, so they are uncontrollable. And the industry environment is opposite from the general environment. It refers to a specific industry, and also it will affect the that is particular organization likely operates. And about the competitive environment, and this one consists of the other like organizations or the business that they provide a similar products or service within the same industry. For example, let's take the drink industry as the example. So the cocoa is really famous. So their competitor like such as Wusilan or Wutongtao. So there are a huge competitor environment for the drink industry in Taiwan.
Okay, as we have known in the fourth slide, external environment affects the internal environment of a firm greatly. So, as we have known from that fact, we can know that external environment has a great impact and it will cause the firm either put the firm in an advantageous position or even a disadvantageous position. And in this case, we're talking about external environment analysis. We reached the conclusion of these two words. Definition is the first one would be opportunity. It is a condition in the general environment that is exploited effectively helps a company reach strategic competitiveness. In other words, if a certain firm is able to fully utilize something or like an opportunity, this particular firm will be able to will be able to be put in a advantageous position compared to other firms in terms of competitiveness in the market industry. And the second one would be threat. And the definition would be as above, is a condition in the general environment that may hinder a company's efforts to achieve strategy. In other words, it is something that may pose a danger to a firm, to a certain firm, that will affect the firm's performance greatly. Then the next one would be parts of the external environment analysis. There are four parts. It is consisted of four parts. The first one is scanning, assessing, monitoring, and forecasting. For scanning, it is the first step. The definition of scanning is identifying early signals of changes and trends happening in the market. So it is an action that is taken by a firm before making a significant decision. They need to fully understand the market. And then the second one is monitoring. Monitoring is the action of observing changes and trends. What is happening in the market? A firm, if they fully understand the market before making huge impact and huge decisions. And the third one would be forecasting. Forecasting is the action of developing projections of anticipated outcomes based on observations done in the monitoring step, meaning that this step will be the effectiveness of this step depends on the previous step, which was the monitoring step. The second step, forecasting, is the action of developing an action like the drugs. In this case, if we are talking about diseases and drugs, we need to develop a drug before the diseases happen. In other words, we need to develop an action before something bad will happen, like a plan B, plan C, or plan D. And then the fourth one would be assessing. Assessing, the definition of assessing is the action of determining the timing and importance of changes and trends for strategies and management. This is the last step and possibly the most important step for a firm, as this action determines the timing and the importance of several factors of which a firm will be taking in terms of their success in competing with other companies. And we'll move on to the last one. Okay, the conclusion of this presentation is that before takes a huge decision, which would in turn impact how they perform in the market, they need to continuously scan, monitor, forecast, and assess the external environment. As from the previous slides, we have known that external environment affects greatly the internal environment. And without the internal environment, a firm will crumble. So both environment, both external and internal, they're equally important. And enough from our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, group one. Okay, go back to your seats and leave your PPT there. And because the chapter 2's topic is external environment. Okay, so today we will focus on external environment. And external means outside. The situation out of our company. And if we want to check inside situation, this one. This is the quiz for today. Later I will explain because this means the parts, means steps. If we want to know the external environment, the situation out of our company and the attitudes, the environment, okay, the law, the politics, everywhere. Okay, so the 4 steps is scanning, the second one is monitoring, and then forecasting and assessing. Those are the 4 steps. And I will lead you to finish the quiz. I will use competition universities to do the quiz. Okay? Before the class, I shared this quiz with Professor Aulia. And I think the Indonesian students, they will follow my direction and to be. It is important. Later, okay? We should understand what is our status. We need to know, compare, and in some certain environment, what is our positioning? Okay, we are the top one. We can say, but with some competitors. Okay, so these are the 4 steps that help know our business. Okay, and do something and try to change to make your status better and better. And are we doing taking the correct strategy to improve ourselves? We need to check the checking is excellent. So every semester, at the first time when I introduce my course, you care about the assessment. 20%, quiz 20%, midterm percent, final presentation percent. How I evaluate your performance, how that assessment. Okay, so later we and here because the group 2 as the environment and industry environment. So you can just see, just focus on the group presentation about this part, competitors. Okay. The most wide, the whole general environment, the situation of Taiwan, the economic. Maybe it's very good, maybe it's not so good. We focus on the food industry. You run a restaurant of, do you know hot pot? I'm not so sure if 10 students enjoy hot pot, but for me, it's very delicious. And I just pretend that you're running a restaurant and you sell hot pot. The main dish is competitive. Tell me. Are you sure? More than that, any restaurant who can feed the customers, right? So maybe your customer comes to your hot pot restaurant, but maybe they want to change, so they go to pasta, whatever. So your competitors are not hot pot restaurants, right? And maybe you test and you want to eat some noodles, and maybe you want to eat some Vietnamese food. There is a Vietnamese food restaurant. Oh, the food is very good. I love that restaurant. You know, is it?
越南料理。
Yeah. A couple. and the hot and cute because they have a very special way to communicate. 同学知道那个越南餐厅吗？那个阿宽水饺，我应该没记错。OK here very wide narrow. When we talk about food industry, is a part of the food industry, but the beverage, the drink, okay, the food, they can be here. But when we talk about can save you and to make you full, we have many different restaurants. And you run a hot pot restaurant, your competitors are not the hot pot restaurant. Okay? Now, if we talk about the who are the competitors of Intech? Thank you. And 台科、北科 and 北商 and 搞过环球 and yeah. I think we have many competitive students. One to enroll. So before you make your decision, you may have location, and maybe if it is a national or a private university, or maybe you check the professionals, okay? Everything you can think and have many options, and then your final decision. But actually, our competitor, Intech competitors are not in the universities in Thailand. Because some students, they can study at Indonesia, they can study in USA or in UN, right? They are all competitors. So if we open the gates, competitors more and more. And because you may survive, right? How can you survive? We need also improve ourselves. Advantage or the good parts of Intech to make Intech to be known. That our vision, okay? The presentation is very good, and because we and industrial so I explained more environment. The wide, the narrow, okay, the area is different. Clear? Okay, now it's the time for group 3. Who is group 3 team members? Okay,
Hello everyone.
hi.
I'm Wei. She's Flora and she's Alice.
Okay. Hold on. And so where is Kelly?
Kelly.
Why in the state?
I don't really.
Why? Okay. When I anyway, any kind of work, any kind of presentation, every First, need to talk. Take sense. Okay, no one is out of it. Thank you.
No. The first step is scanning, and this stage focus on seeking out the external factors that can potentially impact the firms. And through the industry trend, and the macro indicators, and the international relationship to understand the demand monitoring. Once the relevant factors are identified, the firms to actually monitor their evolution and the potential impacts. Also, they can continuously update the technology and the emerging trends. Also, they can understand the shifts in consumer behavior attitude to achieve some certain goals.
The third step is forecasting. In this step, first, the projection of anticipated outcome based on monitors changes and we first need to detect the potential of also predict future scenarios. And the next step also in this step, first determine the timing and importance of environmental changes and trends for first strategies and management. Then they also need to consider the visibility of opportunities and the severity of threats. Next one is section 2 this whole process.
So through the firm can identify the opportunity, and the firm also can know more and they can make the informed strategy and the decisions. And additionally, another purpose is to detect the signal of the change of the environment or the future trend to gain the capacity. And then through the observation, the firm can decide when and whether they need to make the decision and when to address them to ensure the long-term sustainability. And that's all on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing. And we heard about the steps about the scanning and modeling has says it here. And because we need to control and to understand what are the correct action we should take. And very big action, we call that a strategy. So if you understand, you have many competitors from Taiwan and other countries, and you want to be more international, we should take some action and also to evaluate the performance of our action. So the last step is assessing. In mind, you need to always keep something in your mind. When something, you need to check the what is good as you expected, or for example, you understand you have many competitors, so to do and spend money on advertisement, okay, to promote, and it's really to buy some advertisement on TV or YouTube or you ask some KOL to promote big tech. Okay, but how do you know if we spend so much money and we can have more students who enroll? So how many? Give me some example, the KOL or YouTuber. I don't want to say tag because you know I'm quite old, so I know tag. Who is the most famous? 九妹吗？哦，有这个人，或者是什么阿弟，阿弟弟妹，伯恩。啊，哦，那个贺龙夜夜秀那个之前要道歉不道歉的那个。OK。Anyone else? YouTuber, very famous YouTuber. 不知道，你们讲的我大概都听过。I know， 就是那个跳脱舒适圈。嘟嘟妹，嘟嘟妹。Correct one who can help us. I don't know, but I just mentioned, I don't know why. If we collaborate with Duduman. Okay? Green tag in their video. Always Harvard reputation in tech, and we need to of money on them and our situation of ignorance and collapse assessing. Okay, and if you time on something, what do you expect? And the result is as what you expected, or it is quite different. We need to and to this is assessment. Okay, so very good for group 3 because this part is very clear and also it is from our textbook. Okay, the details for the 4 steps, and later we will practice this part. Okay, for example, how to scan the external environment. We may list many different universities, and we will check the score of the universities, and we also check the ranking of the universities. Then we will have our focus. The focus are our competitors. Okay, and then the monitoring is to understand what we don't only for sometimes you need to know what's the actions your competitors do. Okay, so we try to keep our eyes on Taiwan 大学, Taiwan. We may find something special. For example, they decide to offer a lot of scholarships to the students. You know, which university love to offer to students, the top one in Taiwan? Tell me something. The university which offer scholarships, the highest scholarship. National University and 中央 and 北医大. Why you have this information? Oh, you guess. Okay, let me tell you. In Taiwan, the top one is Yazhou University. Okay, in Jin. You know why? Maybe Jinmen is quite warm because it is on Jinmen Island. Okay, and to attract students to go and they need to leave from their home, their parents. Okay, so they offer laptop to every student. And you can ask that Jinmen University to 金门人，金门大学进入籍 and then you can buy cheaper tickets and you fly between Jinmen and Taiwan. So because of the mission, we need to do this way to attract students. And Yazhou University, because their ranking at the beginning was not so good. Even their university is named quite big, right? But so and then they know if they don't offer, students won't come. So I give you money to study, and then they can have evidence. So that's why their performance is getting better. Okay, University, Asia University. We should keep our eyes on our main campaign. Okay, and then forecasting. If he offer lots of scholarships, what affect us? Maybe some students before they try to enroll at Intech, but they go to Asia University, they go to Jinmen University. Right? And you know, one thing we do care is about the stipend from government. Because the government has a new policy. What is that policy for your tuition? Before, if you study at national university, okay, public university, the tuition is lower. And if you study at a private university, the students who study at a private university, they can get a stipend from government. 总统那个政策嘛，读私校补助多少钱啊？ The money doesn't matter, tuition matter. And we focus on the ranking or reputation of this university. Before money, we cannot afford. So we to find university and the tuition cheaper, but now no. Okay, so this is about the part. 10 minutes break. Okay, so relax. Group 4 and group 5 will relax. Hello, Professor. Hello. Hello, Professor Lian. Can you hear me? I give students 10 minutes break. So your students can have 10 minutes to relax, okay? Hello, Indonesian students, can you hear me? 10 minutes break.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you, Miss.
Okay, 10 minutes break. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ừ, 你现在可以给我讲。好，好，好。实习的是吗？来，来，你说。 其实那个时间我30号上传，那上传上去后，然后呢，所以假设现在的那个一个是在然后另外一个100块那个13，对，100块，这应该是比较靠近那个日本产业，没有就比较少，没有，10块钱，600。就是他们都是本来就会准备让外国的实习生入职，比如说他今年开放2个标准，那可能但是它不是一个就是像聚集4个这样的场域，因此我们
什么超严重？那你平常没化妆成什么样子？
假设也是自动热场，
掉还是？
我们这边公司讲，
大家好，我那
没有，是因为我那时候
有画，
干嘛偷写？
弄好。就点报一个，
他们的性质比较类似去年是他就是会给我们机会，所以我跟他们讲说我们不管谁的。那老板，他的英文就讲得很好，因为他是第3班。不是，现在很痛的。然后，我觉得你超严重，这个超痛的，类似是半片，然后或者是不是，他们希望我们帮他们开检查一下，
不好意思，我打完之后写。怎么会过了？
他们一定
是我问你吗？对，是我问你吗？
那个他们要找
然后我拿出来，我也不知道怎么说。
没有那个
那我前一个是。然后我也没错，然后就给人家干死。
你们谁想要？我们只是然后对那个日本手机去那里不是很多的东西，都是100%，4%，然后的你看1000多有300多但是然后他们公司一直不断在他们也一直不断在可是你们不会觉得这样，因为你们做。
而且都是我都叫我妈妈。对。我妈容易不写。你现在不要快点我妈就告诉我，她说快写，然后你们不要快。
做的事情，随便。
那每次有的我也还没买，快一个礼拜。
你们是在学习，而是他学习东西的贡献。他们也有把问题，
你不要讲这话，我等下就在
想有机的东西，他才能够针对你有需要的东西来给你们引导，就是达到你预期要做的。所以有很多的东西，其实答案在我们身上。
今天那个
让你要怎么？
我等下就抽到去了。
他怎样可以改？你们的那个履历要做到这样，是吧？那你要对我看测点什么？
然后送的，他们拿药出来再查。对不对？叫你们这种人。
所以你们一直把它想象成那个人还有什么？做这件事，之前有些时候在海外学并不是这样，它是一个互相成长的过程。但是他们愿意给我们机会去，我去年就讲了，我已经很清楚跟他讲，我快学这个设计。有这个定位，然后我们去年你看过那个毕业班去帮他盖房子的那个人，就不会是我们实习的人，这个你们不会。那个主力的，好吗？啊，这个是要做一个。是的，他必须要知道你们是怎样的状态，他才。我们后来确定的东西就是，然后这个话会让你觉得我们东西经过 现在他也没有这种办法，所以你们也说要去不宠物干嘛？
哎，少一块。
我不一定，我可能当中，但是我当中
我跟你讲，
我现在没有女朋友了，我哪有不会？跟我男朋友一定要去。
你有没那个73后来，或是
什么时候去？
再给我占有。
你有骑过吗？
我也是。刚好你这里要很冷，所以
多少？
他说甜嘛，
好，不然上。
我是拿到那个。
那如果你有你这样就可以找600。你有没有兴趣再分享一次研发的大楼？有啊。
当你有一个机会，你先跟我。然后我们要怎么做？然后我现在，然后准备这个。好，这些技术人。学校，对对对。它不是那个标杆，让你在哦，被你们他们热去的时候，他们分享。确定是我们说谢谢吗？所以你们本身就学生，然后大家他们很清楚大学生就很其实，他不是把他们公司委员的教官出来，一个老师在跟我们在说，按你们的能力我们讲，然后你现在开始好，我要他怎样就是这样，然后这个就是特殊例子。今天是天气。要去啊！我跟他们讲说，我学生都在那儿开机会，然后我就会拿我100个回来，没有太短了，我必须要上班，所以就有点好懂。不要气，多做点，所以你们这边，然后你就去。在想到。不要后悔。我现在满脑子就后悔2个字。
没有现金的。
啊，我老大还有来帮着。
我说你别让现金出生出来。
战力，他们不是这样。真钱。我会的，我不会你教我啊。现在更新课那 可是你看都可以猜出你要讲什么。我就说你快点，然后他就说是吗？昨天他去开会，然后我3个部分，然后他就把所有的移走，然后我就看出来他，然后他就车子停好后就走掉，然后今天我跟你讲，他要把停红灯的时候就看车子。他今天来帮我，今天因为太大力口可以有点中间推理的。谢谢大家。Okay, good afternoon.
Yes,
Hello.
Professor.
Hi, sorry I give you longer than 10 minutes because I take a longer break. Okay, and time for group 4. Are you ready? Group 4. Where is group 4? Hello? Come here. OK， 点名字上去。对对对，作业副档那里的档。Segments. You want to speak Korean?
Everyone, we are group 4. I'm Ruby, and they are my team members, Alice, Rita, and Rachel, and Asian students.
Good.
Today we are talking about different aspects of the general environment. First up is the demographic segment, which look at things like how they are, their ages, their ethnic background, and how income is split up. Often analyze demographics on a global scale worldwide, especially since many companies operate in a global market.
Now we are going to talk about the economic segment. The economic segment refers to the nature and direction of the economy in which the firms compete or may compete. When facing economic uncertainty, firms, especially in regions and countries, the economic study and one inflation rate. 3. Trade is fixed or surplus, and 4. What is safe product?
And the next one is public and legal segment. And this segment is concerned with how organizations try to influence governments, also the policy. And it is also influence the nature of competition. Therefore, companies must carefully analyze the new and administration of the business or the company. And final is the law and the tax law that company should mention. Okay, next I'll introduce the social cultural segment. The social cultural segment is concerned with the societies and cultural values. Although diversity in workforce has potential to improve performance, research indicates that diversity initiatives must be successfully managed to meet these organizational benefits. And the national culture can influence a large portion of internationalization strategy that firms pursue related to one's home country. As for technological segment, I would like to conclude it into 4 points. First, it's about products, processes, and materials. Okay. And then second is they create new knowledge and translating knowledge into new things. It is important to study them. Third, new technology is changing the industries, so firms should improve themselves to survive. Fourth, the developments create full values for firms.
And now we are going to talk about the global segment. The global segment includes relevant new global markets and their critical culture and institutional characteristics. Existing markets that are changing and important international political events. And entering new markets may create opportunity, while the threats are the competitors from other economies may also enter. As a result, some firms choose to be more careful and manage their risk when facing globalization. A strategy Lena use is called global focusing, and it is used by firms with moderate levels of it. In global markets, firms should also pay attention to markets, societal culture, and institutional attributes, as it is crucial when building partnerships. And finally, companies should realize the informal economist existence, and they will find out that it is at a step of global sector.
And the final one is sustainable sector. And sustainable is more important in the company they should mention. And for this part, I separate into 3 parts. And for first one is business adapting to environmental changes for sustainability. And the second is importance of balancing ecological, social, and economic systems. For this part, sustainable is very important to a company they should mention. And the third one is sustainable segment is the crucial role of a sustainable physical environment for business and the society. And this is all for our presentation. Thanks for your listening.
Okay. 7 segments are very easy. Yeah, that means we have 7 items that we can check. If you want to know something on certain segment, we just check that items. That's it. Okay. So, for example, we want to know the economic situation of a country. We can have some to surf on internet and to get some reports so we can understand. Okay. And if you want to know, for example, the demographic, for example, yesterday there was a news, very new news. The birth rate this year is the dragon year, right? And every parent hope their daughters or their sons to be successful. So the dragon year is most popular year, and they love their children to be the dragon group. But unfortunately, the birth rate is very, very low. So this is the situation. What is a fact for UNTech if the birth rate is low? We don't have so many students source. Okay, so the competition will be more serious in 18 years, not now, but in 18 years, lots of universities will be closed. Okay, so this is about that one, and also for the elder age population in Japan, in Taiwan, because we have a very good medical system. Okay, the best of best to be the doctor, of course. And we can have a very good medical situation and we go to hospital to get very good health care. We don't need to pay too much money because we have a healthcare insurance. Okay, so lots of people they can be quite old. I'm not talking about they're healthy or not, but anyway, you can be very, very old. And can they contribute to our country? Maybe yes, we need to design. But in Indonesia, they have lots of young manpower. And this becomes their country's advantage. Okay, and if we don't have, we only have a lot of old people. How can we create the environment and to make the old people to contribute to our society? This is what our government are thinking. Okay, so these are the segments, and the segment means different way to think. Okay, so I won't explain too much on this part. Okay, it's quite easy.